Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmospheric threat of our world around us, and this time we will come back to the more traditional version of this channel, to the discussion of some interesting work of literature, work of history, or work of not poetry, because I am not so familiar with this, but work of literature or work of history. And recently, I just got familiar with one book entitled Aurelian and Zenobia. So the title indicates the subject of the book, and this is actually a nice monography by now deceased Polish classical scholar who specialized mainly in the history of ancient Middle East and Northern Africa. He is also known from his well-acclaimed biography of the Emperor Septimius Sever, first African emperor, and he wrote also this monography, previous original version in French. Later he translated it into his native language, Polish, about Aurelian and Zenobia. This is maybe not biography, let's say, or I would say double biography and monography of the conflict between these two great individualities of the 70s of the 3rd century AD, the female ruler of Palmyra, the caravan city of Aramaic and partially Arabic people in nowadays Middle Syria, nowadays Tadmur, recently destroyed by bandits. Unfortunately, the landmarks from it, and conflict between the Roman Empire, the superior and nominally the ruler of these territories, and ruler as an effect of this conflict between these two entities was confirmed. So Aurelian was victorious, and Zenobia was taken to Rome. And this I really like, how Mr. Tadeusz Kotula can extract good information and create a realistic and historical narrative from the problematic sources like Historia Augusta and numismatics, so coins and some archaeological artifacts. It's all well connected, and all narrative is very well constructed. He also reject some, I would say, idealistic and romantic views given by later chroniclers from Byzantine Empire like Malalas concerning the final fate of Zenobia. Some Western scholars, like the one who deceased this year, Mr. Paul Vane, his book I also discussed about Palmyra recently, he succumbed to the more romantic version of the end of the life of his favorite queen of Palmyra. I would say female ruler, not necessarily queen, but okay. With titles, it's a different story, different territories, different nations, different languages, different titles. But we know that they were rulers at least for some time. So Mr. Kotula gives realistic explanation based on facts, based on critical analysis of sources of different types, and he really distances himself from these later stories conveyed to us by later chroniclers, who were sometimes writing very useful information, of course, but sometimes they were adding something just to add some spice and entertain the potential reader. That's why I really like this very rational and scholarly written work, Aurelian and Zenobia by Tadeusz Kotula, and in contrast to its counterpart written by, this what I mentioned, by Mr. Paul Vane, his short monography about Palmyra. In contrast to this monography, Mr. Kotula also focuses on the campaign of Aurelian against Zenobia, propaganda of the two sides of the conflict, as much as we can recreate it, and the mechanisms that were behind this conflict. It's really, really nice recreation of one of the main events of the crisis of the 3rd century, and he shows us, Mr. Cotula, how Roman Empire, of course, with heavy losses and with huge effort undertaken, but how the heavy empire, thanks to such great individuals like Claudius II, Gothicus, and first of all Aurelian and later Diocletian and Constantinus, really recovered and transformed itself. Of course, it transformed itself to the state of constant emergency, as one of the German historians said. They know something about constant emergencies, so they sniff it really easily, but was saved for long, and Eastern Roman Empire was saved even for very long because it existed till the 29th of May 1453, when was conquered by Mehmed the Conqueror, the leader of the Ottoman Turks. So we see the beautiful piece of historical scholarship. We can gain some new information and read really nicely written scientific prose. That's why if one reads French, I recommend Aurelian and Zenobia by Tadeusz Kotula. Who reads Polish, I also recommend. I don't know if it's available in English, but it should be available because it's really worth reading, and it would be good if it was available to broaden audience. I wish myself to read more of such books in the future. All the best, have a nice day, bye.